Welcome back. Uh, the way I'm trying to compare these things are only our perception for now. Let's just have a look at our perception. I just told you in the introduction section that the time is only a infinitely small part of the entire time scale, and this is called now, and this is probably um, a time, a space in time which doesn't even have a length. So it might have a length. It doesn't really matter, but for this special comparison, let's um, assume that time, the now in time, does have a length, and this length is not as sharp as a mathematical value. So when we thought of our future, it's in the time. It's similar to thinking about the small in the space. Uh, in the space, we are trying to figure out what tiny things hold us to see, or what can we expect when we look into them. And those are obviously the atoms, and at the end of the scale for now, it is actually the universal mm, Excel table, the universal uh, table of tiny particles, which we don't really know quite as yet, but we do imagine them to be. We imagine them to be something that exists, and this is our end, our future, and into the parts, the small parts of space. And now comes the break. And the closing bit of our conversation, which is always the difficult part, because that's where you feel you have to say something really after all that stupidity that you have spread in the first two parts. You must tell the audience that when you compare the past, which is pretty much available for us in the present in one way or another, we actually talking about the distant and huge things like, well, it does have a boundary, which is the discoverable universe. Our discovering activity, is this cover only the parts of the reality that are covered from us by something. We can just discover that, and we can finally reach the end of the discoverable universe in the scale of the big, in the space, which is basically identical the future, the past, in our timeline kind of thinking. Sorry for my errors.